Hi, I'm Anna Olsen here on Insights into Consciousness here on A1R Radio Network. Today, I want to go into a really favorite topic of mine, which is Christ consciousness. And I'd like to delve a little bit into the fact that I was raised Christian. Most people who either come to me or that I work with have a Christian background. And there's a lot of talk back and forth about psychic abilities, doing readings, mediumship, and Christianity. I believe that there are a lot of myths that I'd like to dispel, since I know for sure that when I work with Christ consciousness. That means that when I follow Christ, I do what I believe would be in people's best interest of love and above, and what would be God's will. So I think a lot of people really feel like if you do readings or you do tarot or anything, there's no possible way you can be Christian. That is an absolute myth. I am, for one, a Christian who practices that. And this is where I go back into the explanation to those who want to challenge that we are our own, our own advocate in our spirituality, and that nobody can tell someone else that they know better about their own spirituality. So spirituality, each person's spirituality and their relationship with God or the universe or whatever you call it, is their own business. It's their own right to have that relationship be exactly how they deem it to be. And when we start to naysay other people on what their spirituality is, or tell them that they're wrong for believing what they believe, then we're getting into trouble. And even if you're a Christian, then you're being judgmental, and then that's against the teachings anyway. So as a Christian, it was very difficult for me to start going into doing readings initially. And I really, really respect all of the different types of religions, and I definitely practice some Zen Buddhism. I definitely grew up Catholic, where I was going to Mass with my grandmother. I have all these different exposures to different religions, and what I can tell you is that they all teach basically the same thing. And here, what we're doing now with readings and psychics, not everybody was raised in a church. And there is a way to reach those people. And this is one of those places where they can feel accepted. So I just really want to make sure that all my viewers know that I myself, I use Christianity and Christ consciousness. So when we're using Christ consciousness, you have to remember that this is angel realm. This is protection. This is, it's very important when you're a Christian to practice just surrounding yourself with the protective white light of Christ, and definitely incorporating prayer and all the regular religious things that go along with being Christian. And one thing that I was studying today was how in the Bible, Matthew 6, it talks about treasures in heaven, and that the thing that we really should value are the treasures in heaven. And that means that it's not so much the treasures here in the materialistic form where they say moth and rust will decay that. Or where a thief could break in and steal it. It's to put up treasures in heaven, which basically symbolizes that we don't need to worry about what we have in this life materialistically, that it's the heart and it's the connection we have with people and with God and with the higher and greater good that really matters, because we're all going to, eventually pass on, and we need to be prepared for that next level of work. So I'm going to take a couple of callers today. First, I have Marina from Jackson, California.
Hello.
Hi, Marina. Hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. Good. Just enjoying it. We're not having rain.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've been enjoying that.
Yeah, it's been raining like crazy here, nonstop. California is definitely out of its drought.
Yeah, it's definitely. I know the reservoirs are pretty full right now, and we're hoping to get more rain, but it's looking pretty good right now. Longest it's better than it's been in a long time.
Yeah, we've needed it. Definitely we needed it. But it's so pretty and green here now. I love it.
Me too. I love it. Love it.
So,
what
I was
we
just
do
kind
for you
of wondering, I've gone through some life changes, a breakup and a move, and just kind of wondering what you see for me.
Well, so with relationships,
yeah.
I'm sorry, did you say that?
Life.
Yeah, so you went, okay, so you're talking about relationship after the breakup, life in general, something to look forward to, basically. Yeah, okay. Well, the first thing that I'd like to go over is how vulnerable are you when you're going into a relationship with anybody, meaning friendships or a significant other? How vulnerable, how much do you open up to that person and let them know who you are?
A lot. I'm pretty open book.
Okay. I'm kind of wondering if that is, see, I know that you're saying that you do a lot, and I'm wondering how much intuitively, I'm not sure if you're really like familiar with like that we all open up to people energetically and show them who we are on a spiritual plane. And I know even for me right now, it's a little hard. I'm like still energetically trying to kind of get through your barriers energetically. So that's the reason why I bring that up, because I think it's a little hard for people to kind of get a clear message of you energetically. And that's basically what I get. I kind of get a little block with people's energy when they've either let people in and got hurt, or they were raised in a way that they were forced, religion was, forced down their throat, or, just there's a lot of ways that people can be spiritually guarded, energetically guarded.
Yeah, well, I'm an empath, so I kind of have a tendency to stay away from people. And this last relationship, he was a complete narcissist and turned very abusive and almost killed me.
Okay.
And he was just an energy vampire.
Okay, so you're really just keeping your sources right now. You are, because I'm guessing this relationship did cause a lot of boundaries to be put up because you were hurt when you opened up.
Yes.
So you were an open book to this person, and that basically was their tool to hurt you.
Yeah, we lived together, and it just got really bad, and he almost killed me. And
okay.
So yeah, I'm just healing now.
Okay, and that's why I'm getting the block. And I'm actually going to give you kudos for guarding yourself and making sure that you're safe. That's a really good move. It's sort of like putting a band for a wound to protect it. And that's going to help you heal. It really does, because you get a break. You kind of get that time to yourself to introvert and really process what happened. And the first thing that I'm really, really getting is for you to do some therapy with somebody who specializes in trauma. And
yeah, I was going to domestic violence counseling.
Good. That's fantastic. And to continue that sort of therapy that you're doing, I think is really important work for you right now, because when you get that energy up and out of you so that you can turn this into something that strengthens you and that you can use for the higher and greater good.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's a man in your future who had issues with his father being violent towards his mother, who's going to really be able to understand you, and he's really going to be able to connect with you, and you're going to be able to trust him, because he was so against domestic violence from his experience when he was growing up, that you're going to be able to really bond with this guy, and you guys are going to get really close. So I'm seeing that coming in the future, but you're going to have to really do some of this work. It's hard work, but it's going to strengthen you in the long term.
Oh yeah, it's been a process. Let's see,
Mm-hmm.
6 months ago, and
Wow.
have just been staying on my friend's ranch, taking care of the horses and cows, and that's been so therapeutic, and just getting back in touch with myself and my spiritualism and me.
That's perfect. And now you know the signs of a narcissist. Now you know the warning signs. Now you know what to look for, what to watch out for. So I know it feels
Exactly.
like maybe there's damage done, and I get that you're going to need to heal that. However, now you've learned so much. You could help other women. You could really connect with other people on an even deeper level. This is going to really increase your empathy, your strength, your love for people. It's going to give you more patience with yourself. You're going to be able to connect closer to the divine. And this is what good comes from trauma, when people really process it appropriately and get through it and move it. They need to move it up and out of your electromagnetic field. Otherwise, it stays in there and it settles and people don't move on. And I don't think you'll do that. You're already doing the work with the animals, and that is fantastic, because that's equestrian work is one of the best things we can do spiritually for somebody who has been in through trauma, or for people who are having trouble connecting with others. So even like an equestrian therapy program, I really feel like you really benefit from.
Yeah, it's being around the horses and the cattle has been so therapeutic, and I love it.
Good.
And I know it's going to take
really
time for me to fully come back.
Yeah. Well, I really just congratulate you for getting through that and coming out of it, and that you're going to be stronger for it, and you're going to actually have a deeper connection with the next guy because of it, which is the positives that come from something so terrible.
Yeah.
So it's sad that it happened.
Just very guarded on who I meet, and thank God for my friend who saved me and got me away from there. And like I said, it's been a slow process, and I understand that it takes time, and I'm in no hurry to get into another relationship.
Yeah, and that's good, because if you were, I'd be really worried if you were really hurried to get into a new relationship, because you basically pick the same guy, most likely. And like not the same person, but somebody very similar in personality and in his conduct. And so I'm really glad that you're taking care of yourself. And I see a lot of really good things. I keep seeing you in a new location where there is a lot of animals, and you're going to have a really great connection with a future relationship.
Awesome. That's good to know. No more abusers.
Yeah. No. And, really getting into your patterns in your past and figuring out why you picked this guy and how you didn't see the signs, or maybe you just kind of looked at the red flags as just red flags, and really they were deal breakers.
That's amazing.
What's that?
He was amazing. He was amazing. Everybody who met him absolutely loved him. And like about 2 months after he moved in with me, I started noticing the little signs, and then it just escalated and just kept getting worse and worse and worse, to the point where I was so filled with anxiety that I was having up to 20 seizures a day. And it was bad. So I'm very grateful that I got out of the situation alive.
Me too. I'm glad, and
very,
good
very
job. Did they put him in jail?
No. He lied when the police did come, he lied to the police, and he's a complete narcissist. Like I said, he just smooth talked the police, and then of course I'm sitting there, a blubbering mess, can't even talk because I was, so upset, and it was a very eye-opening experience as to how people are treated too in those kind of situations.
Right, or just what the law can do.
Yeah, he had me fooled too, and it's like I said, he was perfect. The first 8 months he was perfect, and then it was just like this switch, and it was just crazy, just absolute crazy.
They say the only way to catch a narcissist is to record them when they don't know that you're recording them.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting because they are so good at manipulating and they are so good at fooling people. They're charming. They're usually very attractive. They usually have a lot that they have on the outside going on that looks like they have a lot going on. And then when they get you behind a closed door, it's a whole other story. They're not such a nice person.
Exactly.
And they really know how to make you look bad and make you feel ganged up on. And it's really terrible. So I'm glad that you got through it. And maybe, people like you end up writing books, or they end up really helping people or groups of women or men. And they, they go far. So I do have to take my next caller, but I just want to congratulate you on everything you've done and everything you've been through. And I thank you for calling in tonight.
Okay, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate what you had to say. You have a blessed day.
You too. Thank you. Okay, so my next caller, Ebony.
Yes, ma'am. How you doing?
Hi, good. How are you? How is it in Richmond, Virginia?
The weather is great. After all these cold days, it is great. I actually took off my jacket.
I'm so glad. It's been like that here in California, too, and it's been really, really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what is it that you need tonight? What do we need to focus on? Is there something specific that you need?
Well, I'm very intuitive and I have a lot of gifts, and they come out a lot, and some people question me. Sometimes I question myself, but then I don't want to question it because I feel as though like it's in me. I just feel I just really want to know, is that like part of my purpose? Is that why I'm here? Because I really don't even feel like I fit in, like I belong here. I feel like the gifts that I have is like they're so strong, and like sometimes I can't even control it. It's like it just comes out, it just happens. And like my boyfriend, he's always picking and saying stuff like, you're a witch or you do witchcraft, and I don't understand this type of stuff. And it makes me feel some type of way because I feel like only people like me understand me.
Mm-hmm. I completely understand what you're saying. And are you like in a Bible Belt area?
Am I in what?
Are you in a really highly religious or like Bible Belt area?
Well, you can say that.
Okay. Yeah, because this is the thing. I can relate to what you're saying entirely. And what is important to understand is that you're not the only one where you are. I would say you're not even the only one in your neighborhood. And the goal is to find the other people like you and to just keep things real quiet with the people who aren't, because they're not going to understand right away. They may understand later, but like your husband, men have a harder time getting this than women because they work differently. Their intuition is so much different than a woman's intuition that they do get a little scared of it because they're not used to it. They don't have it in their immediate surroundings in their own lives. So the really, really important thing that I want you to know is that so many people that I talk to who are intuitive or readers or mediums, they come from psychology backgrounds. They are doctors. They are nurses. They are housewives. They are Christian. They are Buddhist. They are all from all different walks of life. You're not alone, not even in the least. And you're not the only one who feels that way. And the goal is to find the people like you. And they're scared to come out. They're scared to be, it's almost like, they say coming out of the closet as an intuitive. People receive it pretty well. And what I've found is that the people who don't get it, you don't push it on them because you don't try to get them to understand unless they ask questions because they're just not ready. And the people who do get it, you just keep those people as close as you can because they understand because they're like you, or they understand that it's a gift and not anything scary, and that it's to, basically we're healers, we're light workers, we're the ones who make people feel better when they're having a hard day.
So
we're
do
the
you
life
feel that from me? Do you feel that from me?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I see you in your home.
And with me, they call me psych. They're like, people pick. They're like, oh my God, like, what are you? Are you psychic? You're not a, someone told me before, what did she say? No, it was a guy, he told me, he was just like, you're not a prophetess, you're not a psychic, like, how did you know these things? And it's just like, sometimes, like, I like to drink wine, and it's like, sometimes when I'm drinking, it's way more stronger. Like, my boyfriend tells me all the time, he's like, when you drink, it's like, you go way deeper. He was like, I don't know what it is, and I do notice that it's just like, it's almost like I can stand beside somebody and I can see in their head. It's like I can read their thoughts. It's like I know what they're thinking. I know what they're going to say. It's like I already know these things about people, and it happens so much that sometimes it's like if I'm in public, I feel as though it's a message that I have to give to somebody. And sometimes I've done it, and my little sister, she picks with me all the time. She's like, oh my God, she's about to do that thing again, and she makes jokes or whatever. But she gets it, she understands. But sometimes it's heavy because it's like I don't know how to protect myself, and I'm also an empath. So it's like other people's things, just like it jumps out of their body into me.
And this is the first thing to know, is that this is a regular, normal human sense. Telepathy, empathic tendencies, these are one of the 12 of the human senses. So to say that, it's kind of alarming to some other people who aren't used to it is an understatement. And then you'll find out as you get older that you're going to do it more and more. But the other thing to remember is that you don't need to take on anybody else's stuff. That's their energy, and you have to know where you end and they begin. And it's harder for us empaths to do that initially because we're not used to it, and we want to help everybody. We're healers. So the first thing we want to do when we pick up on somebody in pain is we want to go help them.
Yeah.
And the thing is they don't get to learn from their pain or their life circumstance if we come in and take it for them and burden ourselves with it. And that's what I try to remember, is that it's actually helping them to keep those boundaries very solid and to build those high fences, because you need to take care of yourself. If you end up feeling all this stuff from other people and you don't do it in a very protected way. Before I do my readings, I have a circle of angels around me that are shoulder to shoulder, and they're protecting me and guiding me. And not only do they protect me, but they protect the other people that I am reading. So many times, even after I do a reading, people will say all their energy kind of starts moving, their emotional stuff starts moving up and out, and then their lives get better. So I just want you to know it's definitely for a reason, but to also learn where to focus that energy. Kind of study about it. There's a lot of books that have been written by many different people who are experts on the topic. It's quantum physics, it's electromagnetic fields, it's auras, it's everybody has energy, and it's science. So you're basically an antenna and you're picking up on frequencies, and it's important to know when to turn it off and to let people just live their lives and to protect yourself so that you can just have fun and not worry about it. And so you don't become exhausted or overburdened or sick, because you don't want to get something like fibromyalgia or migraines or anything like that. If you're picking up on other people's stuff all the time, you can have health issues, you can get anxiety. So
I have really bad anxiety, and it's like it drains me. I feel like a battery sometimes. I have to recharge myself and I also feel like it's like people that I let in my apartment. It's like, I don't think I never really told anybody this because I didn't want them to think I was crazy or anything, but I feel like people's energy or whatever is in them sometimes, it lingers around. It's like I feel like they left something behind in my apartment. So it's like when I'm there by myself sometimes, it's like I see it or I feel it, or I see it out the corner of my eye, but there's nobody there but me. But it's like I feel the presence. I feel it in there.
Yeah, everybody does leave. It's like... it's definitely energy. People leave their energy in objects. So have you ever heard of psychometry? You might want to try it. You probably do really well in psychometry, where you grab an object, even an antique, and you try to read where it came from and what happened to the owner, all the energy that this object has been through, or whose hands it's passed through. You'd be surprised at what's connected to even an object. And so energy sticks to everything. One way you can clear that out, or just clear your surroundings and keep it nice and cleansed, is to open up all your windows and sage. and just your intention, whatever you want to reprogram that energy with, you can replace it with something like love or kindness or influx of money, or you can think about the angels, or if you love, Christ, or if you're thinking about the Buddha, just whatever is your thing, just make sure you're in a nice light mood and you're replacing it with something really good and light and fun and free. And then you're going to close your window.
I've been very interested in like tarot cards. I actually bought a deck. And I was very, very drawn to it. I've never did anything with tarot cards ever before, but it's been on my mind because I just feel like what I have in me, I feel like I question it so much because I feel like this is what I want to do for like the rest of my life because it's so strong and I feel like it's there for a reason. So it's like, I don't want to not do anything with it. So, lately the tarot cards kind of have been like heavy on me. So like I said, I bought a deck. I really don't know. I've never used them. I don't know how to use them. I just feel like that's something that I need to do.
That's great. And people also like oracle cards. If you find a really good oracle card deck, some people author them and they sell them on Etsy. You just go towards the one that really speaks to you, that you're drawn to, kind of like the same as when you see a beautiful crystal that you love. You're kind of drawn to it. And another thing about protection is obsidian and the dark or black stones, crystals. Those can be very, even Shanghai, just like all these real dark, beautiful crystals. They absorb negative energy and they protect you at the same time. If you put those in your pockets when you go out, and you do some visualization of cleansing of your aura, like waves coming down from the divine and just cleansing all around you like an ocean wave washing into the ground, then you imagine this nice, beautiful, protective, divine white light surrounding you in a shield that is impermeable. Nothing can get through it other than good, and nothing can go out of it other than good. Then you're going to fill that shield with the beautiful, lovely rose and violet and white golden light from the angels, from Archangel Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and you're going to just seal it like saran wrap. It's sort of like cleanse, tone, and moisturize, but with your energy. And before you go out, you put those dark crystals in your pockets, and it'll be a great way to protect yourself. And you'll find that you'll do much better and not be so distracted when you go to dinner and things like that. You'll be able to focus on yourself. I have to go. I wish I could speak to you longer, but good luck with everything. And you can go to my website and contact me, and you can also work with me directly, and I'll teach you how to do all of this stuff one-on-one. And I do have a sliding scale with that. And my website is AnnaOlsenIntuitive.com, and it's ANNAOLSEN intuitive.com. So you can reach me there, and I'd love to teach you. I love to do classes, and I love to teach one-on-one with coaching. So